That was, dude, high five. Fucking that, we killed that.
Happy Halloween!
Oh, I didn't curse. You hear me?
Oh.
Oh, go ahead. You want to do the opening?
Oh, hi. Yeah, sure. Welcome to episode 246 of Wayne's World, the Muck podcast. It's the Muck.
That's right.
Listen in as we discuss the dark and sometimes weird true stories in American politics. I'm Tina Jaramillo.
And I'm Hillary Garth Doherty. Oh my God, girl. I've had so much fun this week watching this movie.
Oh my God. I used to watch it all the time.
I went to see this movie in 8th grade with my friend Kavana, who was so in love with like heavy metal, which was very weird at that time. Like Guns N' Roses were big. She loved, like, was in love with Slash.
I mean, Slash is pretty cool.
Slash is very cool. But all the other kids were into like poppy music. This girl was into heavy metal. And I remember I think it might have been the first time I went to the movies by myself with a friend. I went to the AMC at Coal Ridge and saw Wayne's World.
I used to always go to the AMC.
Yeah, oh yeah. And it was so funny then, and it was so funny this week.
Oh my God.
I was having the time of my life watching this movie.
It
holds up.
I used to watch it all, because it was one of those movies that like showed up on HBO and then was like always on HBO.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite memories of Wayne's World, really not so much with the movie, but my grandma and grandpa used to come down and spend like, a few months with us. Mm-hmm. And I remember watching the movie, and it's the Bohemian Rhapsody scene.
Which, by the way, starts within 2 minutes of the movie starting.
So we're watching that, and I put the movie on, and I'm like next to my grandma because I'm stupid, and I'm like acting like they are and singing along, and then she goes, "Mamma mia, mamma mia," and oh my God, it's like this picture of her sweet little face doing that, like it made me laugh so much, and it was so cute, and like every time I think of Wayne's World, I think of her like trying to sing along with this song because she heard "Mamma Mia."
That's so sweet.
Isn't that cute?
Adorable.
She was so cute. Beautiful.
Oh my God, listen to this. Great memories.
Yes.
Great memories.
Oh.
Well,
here we are.
Wait, we got to talk about this bull. Now we got to talk about this?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, I also was thinking this morning as I was taking 500 selfies of me dressed as Garth, because somehow that's important. I got a message. Sorry, I got a message from one of my friends, and he said, "You must have 20,563 selfies somewhere." And I'm like, "That's right. That's right."
Yeah. So?
And? He wasn't saying it as like a shitty thing, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking that last year I was sexy Tom Selleck.
Oh,
I was sexy Mountain PA. A witch. You put on a little witch hat and remember in a cape.
Oh yeah, that was called Last Minute.
And then Tina last night, she's like, "What do I need to wear?" I go, "Black shirt." I opened the door like this.
Yeah.
Tina just put a hat on.
Yeah. Listen.
That's what happened. That's with the dark hair. That's the role.
This is perfect for me.
It's perfect. This is. And by the way, thank you, Kelly and Ricky.
Thank you
for letting us have the hat or borrow the hat
and
the glasses. These are my sons, but they also gave us a Garth wig. And I put that on last night, and I could not stop laughing. I sent a video to Simon. I'm like, "How is this Garth's hair? I can do that."
You could do that.
By the way, I had my hair colored this week, so it's nice and blonde again. And I was okay. I'm gonna do pink again, and I'm gonna tell you why. Did we talk about this already? I don't think we did. I was telling my hairdresser,
Kim, we talked about what happened at the
bowling alley. Yes. But I was telling my hairdresser Kim about it, and I was like, "Girl, what is this?" Because she loves my pink hair, and I was like, "I can't have all these people with pink hair. Like, what's the deal?" She said, "Hillary, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They're probably survivors."
Oh.
That's what she said. These women come into her and say, "Yeah, so I'm over here shit-talking cancer survivors." I said, "Why? Now I got to go on the podcast and lay down in front of the tracks." I said, "You're so right. That is a very real possibility."
It's a real possibility. So we got to test it out. What we got to do?
Well, I'm gonna have pink hair again.
We're gonna have to like pop into that bowling alley. In like December.
Don't bend my arm back. When can we go?
We gotta pop back.
We do our Christmas karaoke.
Yeah, we gotta do Christmas karaoke, and we gotta scope out the scene.
Okay.
And that will be a better measure.
Okay, because also sorry, I wasn't kind, but I didn't know.
I mean,
I didn't know.
You can't get, please.
All right. Well, let's talk about something more depressing than that.
Oh.
How about fascism? Which now, 2 weeks before the election, everybody's found out the word fascism.
Yeah.
Everybody's defining what is a fascist. We talked about it last week, but now it's everywhere.
Got a clue. Orange.
Yeah. And she was on the CNN town hall, and Anderson Cooper was like, so and so said, General Kelly, his longest serving chief of staff, said he's a fascist. Finally, out loud on a microphone. And now that clip's being played everywhere, thank God. I don't know who it matters to. Not those
I'm going to tell you that it doesn't.
Hold on. And then he asked her directly, do you think he's a fascist? And she said yes. That's the right answer. Let's not dance around this. Let's not dance around it. We got to make sure everybody's aware. Now, do they know what a fascist is? No, they don't. But we got to let them know. We got to tell people. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So you don't think it matters?
No, I mean, I was going to just talk about some of the people I encountered.
Please tell us about this.
At early voting.
Yeah. Tina's handing out palm cards to people, Democratic palm card.
In a very Republican precinct.
That was rough. It was rough over there.
It was rough. But I have to say, for the most part, those commission seats are like nonpartisan. Well, they're supposed to be nonpartisan seats. And so, those folks were chill and nice, and I stayed away from like the major MAGA tent. But I was looking at these voters. There's like a couple of types. There's a couple of types of like dudes that showed up at this place.
Oh my God.
There is incel dude. An incel dude is like 20-something, young, right? They're young men, and they have like, their hair is kind of long. You know what I mean? They've got longish hair like this, and they're very thin, and they wear these kind of tight jeans. Like
what? This is incel dude?
This is incel dude.
Long hair?
It's long. It's not long like hippie long, but it's like
beards?
No beards on.
Okay, this is interesting.
This is like a young incel dude.
Okay.
I mean, this one kid, I call him a kid because he's 20.
Yeah. That's a child.
It's a child.
It's a child.
Came out and had this. It was a Trump hat, but it wasn't like a MAGA hat. It was like a regular hat that just said Trump, right? The look on his face, like this is a guy who's never had a date, who is there's an awkwardness. You know what I mean? Like this is the guy behind the computer. Those are that's
right.
Like the young dudes that I saw all had this similar vibe. Like they were in a back room somewhere. That's the vibe I had. They're in a back room on a computer.
Socially awkward.
And then walked past me and almost bowed before me to make sure I saw that name on his hat. I should have said thanks for the curtsy.
Yeah, I
should have.
Yeah.
Next
time get on your knees and bow before me, bitch. That's why I can't work at the polls.
Yeah.
Because Trump people pull up and I'm like, yo, what's up?
Yeah.
Nice car.
Then there's like the
Tina, I don't know, you got strength, girl.
Then there's like the dude that's kind of like, I want to call him no teeth dude.
Okay.
Because these are dudes that are missing one or more teeth.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're definitely like the blue collar dude who probably is on the ACA.
Right.
And doesn't realize it's going to be gone because they're too dumb. But they are like these amped up angry dude. That's like the guy that like got in my face, like this close to me, screaming in my face.
And what was he screaming?
And nobody there
helped you.
Did anything.
What is he saying?
Well, he came up and he said, "Can I ask you, why are you voting for her?" And so I said, "Well, one of the primary reasons for me is reproductive rights." And he's like, "What do you think is happening?" And I was like, well, let's take the state of Florida. And I talked about the near abortion ban.
Oh
I talked about, and I said,
entertain this
I know I shouldn't have.
Oh
And I said, and Trump has said, has bragged about taking away Roe. No, he hasn't. And I said, yes, he has. No, he hasn't. I said, no, in fact, he has. I said, and
how could he say that he hasn't? It's all that he does.
I said, and he's talked about having a nationwide abortion ban. He's never said that. And I was like, dude, yes, he did. And then I said, and he's also talked about leave it up to the states for women to get prosecuted if they leave the state. Like, it's the state's decision for women whether or not they get prosecuted for going to get an abortion. And he's like, you're filibustering me. You're filibustering me. That's what you guys do. You're just filibustering me. None of that is true. None of that is true. Like, I was like, okay, dude.
Then why did you ask? You asked, bitch. This is why I can't stand there. Well, you asked me a question, I answered it, now I'm filibustering? Why? Because you can't crowbar in your fucking answer what you want to respond with?
And it was like, you're just like all of them. You're just like all of the Democrats.
No, he means women.
Yeah.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
You loudmouth, smart women.
Because he was like, you know, who do you think should have the choice then? I said women and their doctors. He goes, okay.
Yeah.
Like, disgusting.
Can we stop dancing around it?
Disgusting.
Just, you know what, y'all? I have more respect for the people who say, I don't care if you're 13 and raped, you're having a baby. I have more respect for those people because at least they're fucking honest and you know where they're coming from than motherfuckers like this who dance around it. Dance like the guy on our Instagram. Oh, you really, the vulgar language.
Oh,
no. What's offensive to you is that you want women, you don't want women to have these be able to make these decisions. That's what's offensive to you. So say that. Just be honest with where you stand and we'll all be on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it. Girl, I would never interact with these people.
Yeah.
I would say keep moving.
Oh yeah. Well,
Loud
I
mouth.
mean, most of the time people, I would just say, you know, would you like a voter's guide or whatever I say, and then the people who are Dems that get that guide though, my God.
Well, you know what else you should do?
Are they so happy to
tell
receive
them
it.
when they have something to say. You know what? Go take it to the keyboard.
Yeah.
Go home and get on Twitter, wherever you go.
Yeah.
Go the Truth Social. Go take it to the keyboard. Or you know who would be really interested in this? Go call your mother.
Yeah.
Call your mommy. I'm not your mommy. I don't know why you're so angry, honey, but you need to go take it to your mom.
Yeah.
I'm not your mother. I don't know what she did to you, but go discuss that with your mommy because I'm not responsible for your angry fucking feelings.
It's wild.
Get lost.
And then the other dudes were muscle dude, you know, like totally roided out. Like there was a dude there that
these guys scare me.
There was like this black man who was like full, like, you know, bodybuilder with a hat that was a cowboy hat that was stars and stripes, and then a skin tight, you know, showing off those pecs, shirt that had Trump on it. But Trump was like a monster that was like a roaring monster or something on it. Like he had fur or something. I don't know.
Very angry.
It was very crazy. And then the full regalia people who they come. Now, did you know, I didn't realize, because when I was at the polls just a few months ago for the primary, you know, there are cones out if you're giving out literature for a candidate or party, and you have to stay within, I think it's 150 feet, whatever it is, like you have to stay behind these
door,
cones.
yeah.
But also, if you were wearing a candidate shirt, you could not walk in front of those cones. You had to stay, because I remember when I was turning my ballot, I brought a zip up and I turned in, and they were like, yeah, you can't. I had to walk all the way around. Like I could not walk in front. So when I go a few days, my first day there, I wanted to check the other side of the parking lot. And so I asked someone, like, how far do the cones, like, can I cut this way or do I have to go all the way around? And they're like, no, just walk in front. And I was like, you're not allowed to do that. No, it doesn't matter anymore. And I was like, what? Like people walking in full MAGA, like into the voting booth.
There was a guy behind me in a MAGA hat.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I thought the same thing.
So the law changed.
Well, I was very upset.
I think that's the intimidation piece.
Right. I don't know. I was very upset. I went to go see Tina over there, but it's also my voting place, which I knew is heavily Republican. But I don't want to vote anywhere else, because I want whoever's looking at these numbers to know there's still Democrats over here.
There were a lot. One day I had definitely, not the day you came, the day after, I had a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I was very uncomfortable in the line, and not like intimidated or people were giving me like an eye. I was dressed normally. It's not like I was wearing, you know, whatever, this bullshit. But I was very uncomfortable because I wanted to scream, like, what are you doing? Like, they all had the Republican guide. There was a woman in front of me with her daughter, a little girl, like 6 years old. And, you know, here's a reason, another thing I've started to think about with why people support Trump. And because I was looking at this woman, and I think, you know, a lot of people don't pay attention to politics, and it can be overwhelming, right? Like, we've been in it a while, but we also understand how it works. Most Americans don't. They just, either it's not interesting to them, it's not important to them, there's a lot of other things to be looking at that's more fun.
Right. Or they just, like, listen to their pastors, like, their religion, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think there's that piece. There were a lot of, it seemed like religious people, women that came there were, like, very churchy women.
Well, I think the thing that, there's also a piece where I think that we've kind of missed, which is, he always tried to present himself as an outsider, right? And so when you are faced with having to participate in all of this as like a voter, and you don't understand it, and you could feel, maybe you feel dumb because you don't understand how it all works.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you're kind of not involved, and you don't want to be made to feel stupid. And then here comes this guy who says, I'm going to change the system, and I'm an outsider. And they're like, oh, that's how I feel, right? So they start to align with this person because he's not a part of any of this too. And he doesn't like them like I don't like them. Like, there's this whole, I think, vibe. Now, I've seen a lot of people coming out this week supporting her. You know, you had Beyonce this week, which is incredible, yesterday and everything. But I don't know how many people, when all these people are coming out endorsing, I don't know if it really changes the minds of these extreme MAGA people, like the guy that the guy that I talked to with that truck. There's no way we're changing their minds. There's no point.
I spoke to my uncle recently, and he, was nervous about a Trump election, and he really feels like that he wants to hear more of the job growth, the GDP. Like, he's like, everything's in the wallet, and he's like, why aren't they talking more about that? Like, that's
I think it depends on whatever she's showing up, those town halls or, these interviews. You really have to go find it to where she's going to talk about whoever she's sitting in front of, Yeah. Listen, it's going to be a hard 2 weeks, but she's pushing. And for somebody who has been running for 90 days, it's a pretty flawless fucking campaign.
I think they've been doing great. They've been doing so great.
I couldn't have expected anything better than this. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Seeing the women at those polls was so
rough.
Like the dudes. Okay.
No.
But
the women were a betrayal that I feel.
And the women, there were some women that were clearly, okay, you're a submissive woman who's just going along with what your dude says. There's like the church lady people. Then there's those like stick up the ass, like nice body. You know what I mean? Like maybe 30, early 40s. Like
the yoga moms.
The yoga moms. Super elite private school mom vibe, like, and they have the nastiest attitude. Yeah. The nastiest attitude when they walk by me. They always a little trying to say a snide comment under their breath as they walk on by me. And then there's like box store lady, she's in her ill-fitting like jean shorts and like a flowered print. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know what's going on. And
it's
and
very
the ones that have
uncomfortable.
children, there was a couple that had a little 18-month-old that they put in front of a Trump sign to take his picture. And
it's wild. And also that the shot on the ear, that photo is being used everywhere.
God.
It really paid off for them. That photo, that fight photo. What are you fighting for? Yeah. What? I'm confused. What are you fighting for?
And
well, let's talk about the things that have come out this week. Because listen, we can't. Thank you. Thank you for going and doing the volunteering. But can I also say you can leave anytime you want? Yeah. I know you signed up for a shift. Girl, no. If you get to the point where someone's screaming in your face, you say to Alfredo, "I'm good for the day. We're good." You do not owe a goddamn thing to anybody to be standing there taking shit. You don't owe it. I get it. You want to make sure people get this card and they want this information. But, all we know is they know who they're voting for at the top of the ticket. If they don't know how to vote for their city, they can live. You can live without that, and so can they. We don't need to be taking abuse from people at the polls. Forget that, girl.
Oh my God.
Don't do that to yourself. That's number one. Number two, oh my God, the shit that's come out this week about Trump.
Oh
this
my God.
Atlantic article where he's talking about how he wished he had generals like how Hitler had the Hitler generals. We know what that means, right, you guys? Trump has the very most basic knowledge about Hitler. He doesn't know details. When he says Hitler did some good things, he said that several times as president behind closed doors to these people who work for him. He said it several times. And when you understand that Trump has the most basic understanding of history, there's one thing everybody knows about Hitler. Holocaust.
Right. But for Trump, it's not about that. For Trump, it's the adoration, which he doesn't realize is stemmed out, or maybe he does realize it stems
devotion.
from fear, the adoration and devotion.
Loyalty.
And that unquestioning loyalty.
Power.
That's what he wants from everyone. He just wants yes men. He wants everyone to yes man him, and that's it. And that is not democracy.
And
that's not democracy.
All those people who worked for him in the first administration and said, no, you can't send the military after protesters outside the White House. You can't do that, sir. All those people are gone. All the people that kept him from doing the things that he really wanted to do are gone. The people he has surrounded him with are yes men. Look at J.D. Mother effing Vance.
Oh, God, that guy.
J.D. Vance! And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. One other thing that he's, and so that quote I sent to some family members who, I don't know if they're going to check the box next to Trump's name or not. And so I said, you know what? Like, I have to have the hard conversation. I have to do it. And I sent it. Some people got back to me and some people ignored it. But I put
doing the fucking work.
I put that quote that I put on my story that was like, you don't have to like Harris, you just have to hate tyranny. Like, you know what I mean? And I tried to have that conversation, and one of my relatives wrote back and was like, okay, I'm gonna go look and read those things. I'll go do that. I don't know if he's just being nice to appease me.
That's fine. That's all. Still, hey, by the way, that's what it's like to be family. You go, thank you so much. Yeah, and you don't say fuck you. Yeah. You say thank you so much. That's a nice thing to do. At least they responded and said, by the way, even if they don't respond, you did your best.
Right.
That's it.
I'm putting, and I have there's a few more people on my list that I have.
Like Santa Claus.
Yeah. The naughty list. They're on the naughty list though. So I just, and it makes me, I get that little twinge in my stomach because I'm like, I don't want to start fights with like people in my family.
No, it doesn't have to be that way.
And I preface it like, I know we don't talk about this. I know that like, we kind of avoid it, and I'm not trying to start anything. I just want you to think about this. And that was the statement for me, because it's like,
that's enough.
And that's it. And I put it out there and the end. So I don't know. Like I'm so nervous. So like if someone's pissed off at me, whatever, they'll be pissed off at me.
Tina.
I feel like I have to try to
be confident in your decision to do it. That's number one. Number two, it's all about how you react. If somebody writes back and starts try to fight, which I don't, you're the sweet angel. I can't imagine someone doing that. Oh, how you react to that is also how it stays. And you could go, all right, cool. I just wanted to say my piece. Yeah. Love you so much. See you. Whatever, right? Yeah. Like, that's it. You can also keep it baseline and not react in a way that's going to escalate it. But that's what people are supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah. Like reaching having those conversations.
But again, I like I said outside the polls, we were talking to someone there, and I'm like, I really don't. If someone gets to the polls and they vote for Trump, okay. What I can't stand or what I don't entertain is conspiracy theories.
Oh my God.
If you have your reasons, whatever they may be, I'll never understand it or agree with you. But if you start entertaining, if you say to me it's because of the controlling hurricanes or whatever FEMA's coming out, that shit I will not entertain that
but they
at all.
Believe that. The other thing that came out recently with that stupid dumbass podcaster that he sat down with, that Rogan.
Oh, I wanted to play a clip from that. I'll try to find it.
He said that he said to Joe Rogan that America is the trash can of the world.
Now he's saying it in speeches all over the place.
America is the trash can of the world. And I was thinking about it, like, how could these MAGA, these pro-America people be like, wow, how do you call our country that? But really, it's not about calling the country that. It's about immigrants, right?
Right.
And it's about calling immigrants refuse and garbage,
Right.
Right? And dehumanizing language. This is this guy's MO. Just like any other dictator, just like any other person who wants to cause harm on another group and other than, this is part of the playbook.
Right.
This is what this man does.
Yeah.
And for you to sit there and hear that America is the trash can of the world, I don't know how you walk away from this guy. You don't talk about people like they're disposable. Because that's, again, how do you allow people to harm others, right?
But even,
you see them as less than you, and now you're talking to the masses and getting them to think. So when they see someone who has an accent, whose skin is darker than theirs, and put an accent on top of it, then they're going to see those people as lesser than them. That's the end.
Also, The Daily Show put side by side clips of him talking about immigrants, and right next to it is the direct thing that Hitler said.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
It's the same.
Like that.
They are the same.
What are we doing, man? What is this? What about that great meme that I sent to you and Justin? Oh my God, I'm dying. Please, if there's any way we can put this up in the video, maybe we can. I don't know. But it basically was like, here's my parents in their 30s buying their first house. And then there's a picture of this guy underneath it. His hair's all crazy.
Yeah.
His eyes are real, like, sunken in.
Yeah.
He says, me in my 30s. Please don't elect Hitler 2.0.
Yeah. I mean,
it's so real.
It's so real. Like,
I'm like, please don't elect Hitler 2.0.
Like, we are so stressed out. You know, like my husband and I, we talk about
Girl,
how
so stressed out.
how are we going to, God forbid this happens, like what is the plan for the next 4 years? We have been talking about like different financial decisions that we're making. There, all of this stuff to try to survive a 4-year, well, or indefinite term. You know what I mean? Like, how far are things going to change? And we can't let it happen.
I'm worried about what's going to happen here. The other thing, too, is that he made these comments this week in that Atlantic article. They talked about the woman who was murdered at that army base in Texas.
Yeah, oh my God.
And how at the time, but you know, this was that awful army base that I threatened to cover, I don't know how many times on the podcast. But like, I don't know what happens out there, but people go nuts at this Texas army base. And she was murdered and by a fellow soldier and thrown in a ditch.
Yeah.
And she was like 22 years old or something. Anyway, at the time he was president and he offered to pay for the funeral. Well, the funeral costs were $60,000.
Yeah.
And he was like, literally said, they're trying to rip me off. It can't be that much to bury a Mexican.
Well, expletive and effing Mexican. And effing.
She was from Florida. She was Spanish or Latina, but
this is where are the Latina?
Oh, by the way, her family has come out and defended Trump. Said they're voting for him. Wrap your mind around that one.
I can't. Her parents.
Yeah.
I don't. This is what I don't understand. I don't understand because they probably came up with some bullshit and said that's not true, or they twisted my words, or who knows. Because the thing with Trump is, no matter what he says, the very next day, I never said that.
Right.
The very next day, I never said any of those things. Like he's saying about the Hitler thing, but I never said that.
But even the guy at the polls is saying that he never said it.
Yeah.
This is the day of the internet. We can look these up in 2 seconds.
Look it up. How hard is it to look it up? But then they're going to be like, oh, that's the deep state. That's the deep state. Like, how do you live in a world where you don't trust anything but one person? Give me I mean, come on. What is that? Fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice. No. I said it backwards. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
That's what George W. got wrong, remember?
Yeah. So
don't get fooled again.
Don't get fooled again. Yeah. So don't get fooled again. Take those words. Don't get fooled again. Like I hate to say it, and I don't want to sit and name people. Name call people.
Girl,
you know
rewind to 30 minutes ago in the podcast when you were making fun of people at the polls when they were wearing. It's real. No, Tina. Shame.
Y'all suck.
Y'all suck. I can't stand it. This podcast the last couple weeks have been dark.
It's been dark.
It's been dark.
Well, let's go into darker territory.
Hold on.
You have more Trump?
Wait, hold on. Arnold Palmer. Girl.
Oh, wow.
This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, God.
Trump's talking about his dick. Can you believe this? What's he talking about?
If you gotta talk about honey,
and then
there ain't nothing there to talk about.
And by the way,
right?
what are you looking at this man's penis for? Poor Arnold Palmer.
This guy.
I'll never be able to order another one of those drinks again in my life.
Oh my God.
Someone photoshopped a picture of Trump and Arnold Palmer like on the golf court, like they were arm in arm. It was a real picture, but then they added on his Arnold Palmer's pants. You could see the outline of a penis like down to his knee, and I was like, God damn, is that real? Did he stir that Arnold Palmer with his penis? Is that what made it an Arnold Palmer?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway. We're just trying to survive, and he's talking about the size of some man's penis. But all right, no big deal, guys. No big deal.
No big deal.
Oh my God. Oh, he worked at McDonald's this week.
Oh, please. If working at McDonald's means you worked at McDonald's. What they did is whoever the owner of, and it's franchise, so it's not like McDonald's Corporation. Whoever owns that particular franchised McDonald's.
Yeah, they're fans.
Closed.
Yeah.
Closed. And then hand selected the customers that would be there. So he wants to do McDonald's because Kamala, that's what I'm assuming, worked at McDonald's. I could work at McDonald's too.
He's claiming she never worked there.
Sure.
Why you only can work about that.
But can you imagine someone going through the drive-thru if they didn't hand select?
Oh my God.
Like,
could you imagine you get to the window and Trump pops out?
What would you do? You'd be like, you throw those French fries back in his face, right?
I'd go, what the fuck are you doing? I'm sorry, what? Is this a joke? Aren't you running to be president of the United States?
First of all, I wouldn't take no food coming from Donald Trump.
Yeah, but the next day, there was an E. coli breakout at McDonald's. That's real. Yeah. That's real. Not that McDonald's, but anyway, what's the difference? Link it.
Yeah, link it together. That's what they would do.
Yeah. He caused E. coli breakout. Allegedly. Fuck you. I can't stand him, I cannot stand him. What a goof.
If I lived in that town, I would never. First of all, I can't.
Yeah, Tina's never had McDonald's. First of all,
okay, I have had. I will.
McDonald's French fries are they're the best.
McDonald's French fries are so good.
Oh my God!
And growing up, you know this. Like I never could get McDonald's.
Yeah.
Like we got McDonald's if we were on a road trip.
Well, you could, but your mother said no.
Yeah. If we were on a road trip, we'd stop at like McDonald's.
Oh, that's amazing.
Okay.
That's
and then
amazing.
in high school, of course, like with my friends or whatever, we might go and get like fries at McDonald's or like
of course,
stuff like that. But the last time I ever had like a McDonald's French fry is probably like 15 or 16 years ago.
That's messed up.
Prior to that, and it was because I was pregnant with my son and I was craving them. But prior to that, it had probably been like 10 years or something.
That's insane.
Isn't that weird?
Yes, it's weird.
I know, weird. I don't know.
Listen.
Or maybe I'll have a McDonald's French fry.
Well, they come in a thing. You can't just buy one. You gotta buy a whole thing.
I have to be with someone who gets McDonald's fries and then I can take.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
I love fries.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't know. Whatever. So DeSantis.
Okay.
Are we still on?
I had something went in my head and I completely forgot what I was gonna say.
I just wanted to talk about DeSantis on his little like tour to stop amendments 3 and 4. So for Amendment 3, Jason Pizzo,
sued and he's put a lawsuit.
Yeah,
right?
he's put a lawsuit out, and this audit was done, and just like his shenanigans with Amendment 4, the audit found that the state had spent about $50 million since September on marijuana, Amendment 3, which is the amendment to pass marijuana down here and make marijuana legal. On the television ads alone. So here he is again using taxpayer dollars.
Yes!
Taxpayer dollars on things that he should not be using taxpayer dollars on. He uses our money like a little piggy bank to do what he wants. And meanwhile, what are we going to say? We're drowning in insurance and property tax costs. And this is what he spends the money on.
Well, here's another thing, but also the more I have another thing that he wastes our money on this week.
Yeah,
but,
I have another part of Amendment 3 I wanted to talk about.
Okay, but yeah, so speaking of that, the misinformation that they're giving out, that is false, false information about Amendment 4.
Are we still in 3? I want to finish.
Hold on. And the doctor talking about Amendment 3, the Surgeon General. Yeah. And this wacko he's got up there that's using the same thing, using this office to interfere with an election. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do this.
No. And the falsehoods that he's putting out. So he said at another one of these press conferences that there are 0 people in jail. He's like, I had the state do the numbers. There is not one person in jail, 0, in the state of Florida for marijuana. That's what he said.
Oh my God.
So I was like, I need to go research it. And so like I found some articles. It's 37 that are like, it's strictly marijuana of like intent to distribute.
Yeah.
But the problem is, in this article that I read really like outlined it really well. The problem is the difference they're saying between like jail and prison. Because you might not go to prison, but you can still get arrested here for having possession of marijuana under that 20, right? You might not be sentenced for a crime, but now you're in the criminal justice system. And that can impact your current employment, that can impact your future employment, that can impact you getting into college. So to say like, oh, no one's in jail for it, what are we doing? It's not just about going to jail for a long time for it. It's about the possession charges that can still impact people's lives when they don't need to be arrested for this petty thing.
Right.
That is the thing. And he twists it around, making it seem like, oh no, this is no big deal, and that's not the truth. He just lies and lies and lies and lies.
Well, what else is new?
And then Amendment 4.
Yeah.
So, so the 2 main things that he was talking about with Amendment 4 is that if Amendment 4 passes, it's going to strip away parental rights.
Right.
And it's just going to be a notification. And so he said, in Florida, we have a parental consent for everything medical. So they can't give your kid a Tylenol in school without parental consent. But somewhere in the Constitution will mandate that your minor child can go with a non-physician and have abortion in the 9th month. That will be in the Constitution of the state of Florida. No, it won't be in the Constitution.
It's such a fucking load of shit. It's such a load of shit. This is a Trump lie. There's no 9-month abortion.
Right.
That doesn't exist. And who is believing this?
But parents are still going to have consent in the state.
Of course, it doesn't do that.
For like the judges and the Supreme Court, which we know is conservative, they're going to uphold that parental consent.
And by the way, there shouldn't be parental consent anyway, but okay, we're here.
Right.
All we're asking for is a little bit more effing time.
Right.
A little more time.
I feel like that if a child at 13, right, can decide, right, because sometimes they ask, do you want to live with a certain parent or whatever you want to do, I think they have the right to have a say. They have a right that a parent should not control their kid's body like that. But there's 2 things in this quote that I found very interesting, okay? One, parental consent being in the Constitution, but he says, they can't give your kid a Tylenol in school without parental consent. So the same people that say in schools there's all this transgender surgery happening, right?
Yeah.
But we can't get a Tylenol without parent consent, but we can have transgender surgery happening without parent consent. You see what I'm saying? Like, they say it right here. Parental consent for everything medical. So how are these other things happening? You know what I mean? You can't talk about both sides of your mouth.
Why do you do this? Why do you try to reason?
Well, because it's like I'm trying to like put it forward. Like, are you listening to what these people say?
They only spin the arguments that are going to work in their favor.
Oh my God!
Like, you know who else is all over that? Is that crazy lady who's with Moms for Liberty, Broward, who's praying for me. Thank you. I need all the prayers I can get. Thank you. Well, it would really mean something if I believed in it.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She's at all these school board meetings screaming about how they're going to have operations in school.
Oh my God.
Girl, people aren't trying to take your kid, do anything with your kids.
No.
Get out of here with this.
Nobody is doing this, okay? They want kids to color between the lines.
It's just so dumb.
It's so dumb. Can you please color within the lines,
Excuse me,
goddammit?
can you... Oh, by the way, I was watching Great British Bake Off yesterday.
Oh.
And Noel, who I love, he's so funny on the show, he said something about, they were talking about something about school, and he was like, yeah, they're going to learn how to do joined up handwriting. And I was like, what is that? I think that's cursive.
Oh, it's probably cursive.
Joined up handwriting.
Yeah.
They call it joined up handwriting.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
The British are so cool.
That's what they're trying to teach kids. They don't even teach cursive in school anymore, girl. They don't have time to teach cursive.
I know.
And they're going to have time
to do a whole surgery in some back room.
Oh my
somewhere.
God.
Oh my God.
Get a clue.
Get a clue.
And get a life.
Get a life. And the other thing in his quote was a non-physician. DeSantis.
The non-physician is your Surgeon General. That's the non-physician.
Right. But in the Constitution, right? It's in the Florida Constitution. Only doctors can give abortions, right? That's like this whole anyone off the street. It's so stupid.
Well, that's
that's
stupid. And also non-physician back alley.
Yeah.
That's where you're forcing women.
Yeah.
Abortions will always exist. It's safe abortions that won't exist. Women will always have to find a way.
Right.
To get around it. And all you're doing is forcing them to find a dirty, unsanitary way to have it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And right now you have Republican, I forget who, I just heard it yesterday that somebody, a Republican, referencing women as like vessels. Like that's all we are. We are not equal in the eyes of these men. We are less
again, what did your mom do to you? I can't help this. I can't help it. It's ridiculous. You know, that guy, we took this great picture in front of this truck.
Oh, I saw
that
it on
Tina had told
Highway.
me. Tina told me about it, and then it pulled up when I was hanging out with her over there. And she's like, "There it is,
serendipity, baby."
And then Tina said, "Can you take a picture of it in front of it?" I go, "Yes, we can do that." And the guy walked over, and as this guy's walking over, I'm like, "Hey, man!" And literally everybody who's around me scattered like roaches. Tina went that way. Everybody went that way. I go, oh, they think I'm going to yell at this man. But I was like, yo, nice car. That's cool, man. Cool. I said, you got that missile just hanging out in your back. He had a missile on top of his car.
Missile.
Huge. I said, you got that? Where'd you find that? In your backyard, man? Where'd you have that? Oh, yeah, I put it together. He was all proud of himself.
He built that?
Oh, yeah, he was very happy with himself. And then he said,
like one of those airplane, like, what do you call those? When you build the airplane?
Like a kit.
Like a kit.
Yeah, I think so.
He had a missile kit.
It had Trump flags all over it.
Blue.
I don't know, but he goes, you know what's crazy? I took my son to school, and then the principal called me and was like, man, you know, I don't know if you can drive that to school because somebody said that the bomb was going to go off and blow up the school. He goes, isn't that crazy? I go, yeah, something's crazy. Something is crazy. And he's like, ooh, and he like walks away. I'm like, What? Well, I'm not gonna fight with him, but like, what are we doing, sir? What are we doing?
He has a kid. Somebody laid down with that man. Somebody laid down with him.
Listen, it's not her fault. She didn't know. In my own defense, I didn't know Trump would come along and I'd have to deal with this either.
Yeah, well,
that's not my fault, Tina. I didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
I had my own Trump.
That's true.
I didn't
yeah, it might be maybe she's on board.
The best thing about
it is she might be into it.
Yeah, probably.
She's probably into it.
My favorite thing too is that like. What happens when Trump goes away? What are you all going to do with yourselves? What's your identity going to be?
It's still going to be Trump because they'll be trying to overthrow the country.
Oh, God, please try to overthrow the country, please. Oh, my God, it's all I need. Okay, so the other thing DeSantis is doing this week, which is so crazy, he is suing, he's having our state, attorney sue the Justice Department, Merrick Garland and the Justice Department, because they told the state of Florida, you cannot investigate the Trump assassination attempt here. Remember, he said, we're going to do our own investigation because you can't trust the FBI. Remember, DeSantis was like, we're going to do it. the Justice Department was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're going to
That's
have
not
no
your
access to this
jurisdiction, man.
information.
Yeah.
You're going to have no access to evidence.
Wow.
And now they're suing
To get access?
with our money. They're suing the Justice Department to try to to do the investigation.
So he's
Why are you bothering with this?
Because he's got to be vying for some position in Trump's world, right?
But it's a way to like keep his name in the paper.
I think he's
like,
trying to curry favor with Trump and like
maybe
because his governorship's on the way
but
out.
Trump doesn't even talk about these things anymore.
know.
It's old news. Your old news,
Yeah.
DeSantis.
What a sad. He's just a little boy trying to please daddy.
Oh, Daddy.
Daddy.
Oh my God! Speaking of that girl,
Oh.
I mean, there's a part of me that was like, but there's another part of me going, huh? Did you see Tucker Carlson in that speech this week at the Turning Point? You know, Nazis,
I don't
Nazis, the Turning Point USA. Okay, hold on, please. I gotta play it, and please give me a moment to find the clip because I couldn't.
I'll cut it out.
I'm not. Ooh, Alfredo, our producer, just texted. People are voting today. We have a record number in Broward on the first hour of voting today.
God, thank God.
I'm gonna text them back and say,
I'm gonna
thank
text
you.
him back. Thank God.
Just mentioned it on the pod. Okay, so he's talking basically about how we're the bad girl and Trump is the daddy, and he has to come home and he's got to take care of us because we're so bad.
What?
By the way, that was my sexy voice. How am I doing?
Wait a minute.
How am I doing?
What? I don't understand what you're saying.
So he's talking about how the country has been bad, and sometimes when you're bad, your daddy has to come home and take care of you. So you know.
God.
But it gets.
This is Trump.
Yeah, Trump's our daddy.
Ew.
Trump's your daddy, bitch.
Yeah.
Not my daddy, but.
What? Ugh.
Anyway, it's just weird. He's weird. And it's coming from him who's like, to me, not sexual. Like if he was wearing something, like if he was hot, if this was Ryan Gosling going, daddy's coming home to spank you, I'd be like, bitch, where do I go for this? Where's the spanking?
Yeah.
Trump and Tucker Carlson?
Ew.
No. I don't want it. I don't want it. Okay,
no.
Hold on.
Take that to the Diddy party.
Take it to the freak-offs.
We don't want to.
We don't want to be in a freak.
No.
I do not want to see baby oil. No. I don't want to see an IV to give me fluids after. I don't need it.
I can't. God, segue. That man needs to go to jail.
He's in jail.
He's in jail. He needs to stay there forever.
Yeah.
Alleged. I know
one freak off
alleged.
too many. One freak off too many is what I'm saying.
Dude, have all the freak offs you want.
No.
Just don't rape people. How about that?
Oh, see, there goes. There goes the fun time right down the drain. No, you're right. It's terrible. All right, here we go. Here's sexy ass Tucker Carlson talking about.
Don't call him sexy.
Daddy. Oh, Hillary.
And it's not good for them. No. There has to be a point at which dad comes home.
Oh, they love it. They're cheering.
Right. Dad comes
They're like this in the audience. You're cheering. You're so
He's
happy.
pissed. Dad is pissed. He's not vengeful. He loves his children. Disobedient as they may be, he loves them. Because they're his children, they live in his house. But he's very disappointed in their behavior. And he's going to have to let them know. He's going to have to get to your room right now and think about what you did. And when Dad gets
That's
home,
the Democrats in the camps, by the way. That's what's going to
you've
happen.
been a bad girl. You've been a bad little girl, and you're getting a vigorous spanking right now. And no, it's not going to hurt me more than it hurts you. No, it's not. I'm not going to lie. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it hurts me. And you earned this. You're getting a vigorous spanking because you've been a bad girl. And it has to be this way. It has to be this way because it's true. And you're only going to get better when you take responsibility for what you did.
Okay.
It's not said in the spirit of hate.
So, just a couple things off the top hearing that.
Okay.
That my brain goes to is, daddy coming home, only men can solve the problem, right? About Kamala being a woman, like the subtext of it, right?
Yeah.
And we need a man
Yeah.
to straighten up America, not a woman.
Yeah.
And then there's this language like God, right? God
Yes.
loves you even when you sin.
Yes. Yes.
But then that violence piece comes in. So it's like, we're going to make people suffer. You deserve it.
Spare the rod, spoil the child.
Wow.
But it's
Wow.
also this weird
This guy's
daddy
sick.
bad girl
It's
thing.
weird.
That is equally
These are
creepy.
these are damaged men.
Yeah.
There are men out there that are incredible and supportive and amazing, and whatever has gone on with this alpha male train is not good, man. It's not good. These are. I can't. I'm appalled by what I just heard.
I hear that.
I am appalled.
Absolutely. What's weird is that they pan to the audience,
It's
and
women.
it's women and men like, yes,
Yeah.
daddy,
idiots.
spank me.
You idiots.
Until he comes for you.
Mm-hmm.
Until he comes for you, which he will.
Everybody
And his
thinks
laws,
they're safe.
all that's coming for
Yeah.
you. And you're gonna go. Remember when it was when we wanted our daddy to spank us?
Yeah.
By the way. You shouldn't be hitting your kids, man. Like,
No.
what is this? What is this idea of dominance over children? It's so fucking bizarre to me.
Control.
It's so weird. It's so weird. You've earned it. That's another
Yeah.
creepy line.
Yeah.
You've earned this.
Yeah, you deserve it.
And it's not
He's
going to
like
hurt
an
me. It's going to hurt
you're-
you. Let's be
You're an
honest.
abusive husband.
Yeah.
Like you're an
Someone
abusive
check on his
man.
children.
You're an abusive person.
Creepy.
Jesus.
It's creepy.
No, it's awful.
My last thing is, do you have something else?
No.
My last thing is that Rudy Giuliani, the hammer came down on this.
I wasn't expecting that name today.
Oh my God! So he, had the judgment against him, and he was ordered to turn over his Manhattan apartment, a Mercedes, and a very variety of other personal possessions, from his television to a shirt signed by Joe DiMaggio, to 2 Georgia election workers who won a $148 million defamation suit against him. Remember these women?
Wow.
Ruby Freeman and the daughter, Shay, who testified at the January 6th hearing about how they were accused of hiding boxes of votes.
Oh my God!
At
They
a
had
polling place,
the death
and
threats and
they couldn't live in their homes for 6 months because people were coming to their door,
to hurt them.
random people,
Yeah.
to asking them, threatening them, and they testified. And Rudy Giuliani was the one pushing their names, and they won a defamation suit against them because they didn't do anything wrong. They had been poll volunteers
They're
for
volunteers.
20 years.
They're volunteers. These are regular people, and you use them.
Yeah.
I've never seen a group of people use other human beings as pawns in every single thing that they do.
And the best thing about this is you don't get to get away with it. These women were like, no. We're going to hold you accountable.
Good.
For what you did.
I hope
how you ruined our life. You're
guys
not going to be
grow.
able to turn your back and leave us behind. Like the father who gave that press conference a couple months ago because Trump was using his son's death in these stories.
Oh.
We're going to make sure you know this is not okay. You can't do this to people. You can't lie on people.
Man.
So take that money. Take it. Speaking of, what is that it?
That's how.
Speaking of Giuliani, have you seen these Penguin episodes? These new Penguin episodes? Girl, that
I'm caught
episode
up.
4, you are?
Oh yeah.
About, spoiler.
her background.
Woo!
Oh, I was uncomfortable the entire time. I was getting so upset.
Oh,
and my husband's like,
thank God.
this is really,
I thought I was the only one.
No, my husband goes, this is really affecting you. I said,
It's really...
because it's women.
Yes.
This is what they do to women.
Oh my God, it was
This
horrible.
is what they do to women.
Yeah. It was
And
horrible.
when you think back to what has been done to women, when you go back and read literature.
Yeah.
Come on.
The presidents
Oh, God.
did this
when
to
she's
women.
like, oh God, on the table. Oh my God.
It was so insane.
Oh,
so insane
It
the way
was-
they messed with this woman.
Oh, God.
And it was her family.
It was her family.
And by the way, the end was the best. I was like, bitch, get it.
Yeah.
You know, I dream of it. I
There's
dream of
something
it.
when she showed up at the head of the table.
Yes.
With all of the guys before she does the thing to the one guy, because I don't want to spoil too much.
Yes.
She's got this fur and it's off the shoulder.
And she's got
this black dress and it's a little
Yeah, she's
I was
gorgeous.
like, she has this perfect, like, hot,
Yeah.
little crazy thing to her.
Yes.
I told my husband, I said, I love everything about this look.
You know, she reminds me of you. You Yes, you've got the
the
eyes. You look, and it's the same. That Sister Connie from the. It's the same thing. She's the perfect casting for this show.
I should have been her for Halloween.
Oh my God, she's so good
with that dress and that fur. Like,
and just carry out a gas mask. I know someone who has one if you want to borrow.
Oh my God, she's so. I love her, but I love Penguin too.
By the way,
I love all of it. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
I know. The end of the last episode was wonderful. So it's so exciting to see it all transform because at the end of every episode I go, how is he still alive?
Yeah.
Everybody's coming. Like, what is he going to do?
But the end of the last episode, I'm like, oh yeah, that's
here we are.
Yes.
We're in it. We're in it. We're starting to build the legacy of this character. Yes. It's so good. And I'm anxious to see, I think there's going to be a second The Batman, with Robert Pattinson. So I'm anxious to see
if there's a blend.
If this picks up, if this includes, we'll pick up wherever that is. Yeah. That would be great. I sent you a text this week and asked you.
I watched it.
I'm Not a Monster?
Yeah.
A documentary on HBO?
No, I have to say, you are.
Oof.
You are.
Oof.
She doesn't see it.
This woman is in, where was she? No, Minnesota.
Well, she ended up in Minnesota and then ended up in Florida. And
but
Minnesota.
She's, again, it reminded me a lot of that one, the 6 schizophrenic children or sons or something, whatever that was.
I never saw that one.
You gotta watch that.
I forgot. Yeah, I gotta watch that.
But how do we, it's about, how do we prosecute or do we take into account their childhood? Because she's one of 5 children, this woman. She ended up murdering her husband and then murdering an innocent woman in Florida, on the run.
Sad. The guy on the boat.
Oh my God, talking about her.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway,
my feeling is with that is, I think that we have to consider that, but I also feel like I didn't believe that she has no memory of it. I think that it was very calculated.
Yeah.
I think it was deliberate. I think she deliberately found someone that looked like her.
Oh, right.
I do. And I think that her addiction to gambling is what drove her to do it. It was all about the money for me. And I think that, you got to be a little crazy to do that. And I think her upbringing and all of that, yes. But there was a woman on there that said the way that she did it, it's the same MO, right? Like hiding the smell, doing the, it was calculated. She played up the sob story, found the right person, and thought that she was going to get away with it.
Right.
Oh, it was interesting. And it was interesting just to see her perspective of it and the way that she takes accountability but doesn't take accountability.
Right.
She's like, yes, I did. I guess I did. I had to admit it. I did those things and it was terrible. But I don't know if she's being honest with herself.
Right.
When she says, I have no recollection. Maybe because she doesn't want to face it.
I really wanted to hear more about what was happening in her house as a child.
Yeah.
Because 2 of her other sisters were also whacked.
Yeah.
And I wonder what I really would have liked to hear more about that. Since it was her excuse of doing all of this.
And it was abusive. And I think if she maybe had whatever genetic tendency that was going to lean that way with the mental health, but maybe if she grew up in an environment that was loving,
right?
Would it?
Right.
Would things?
Which is what this.
And I wanted to hear from the kids.
I know.
I wanted to know.
But then at the end, we hear about the son.
We hear about the one son, but I wanted to hear.
Me too.
From the other kids to know, do you forgive her? Do you go see her?
Well, she was talking to one of them on the phone in the jail, and talking about the father's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Can you save some of Daddy's ashes for me? I'm like, what?
After what you did,
and the girl's like, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell's going on?
Wild.
Yeah, so that was good. I went to see a show this week.
Oh.
It was, okay. First of all, the band's name is Mannequin Pussy. Incredible. The
clip was so good.
I don't know. She's very much, the band is very much whole. Courtney Love.
Okay.
The theatrics of it all and the music is very 90s Riot Girl kind of fun. There's melody songs but also just straight up a few anthems which it's so good. Anyway, I went by myself. It was fine. I always try to work myself up but it's fine. And All I know is I walked in and the whole room, it was Revolution. It wasn't sold out, but it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
Were kids.
That's the best.
Okay. And I think it must have been 18 and over because they had the bracelets.
Yeah.
I don't think it was all ages. But they're goth kids. Like, I don't understand I was so happy. But we're talking about, they're dressed like 90s goth kids. They're dressed like early 2000 club kids.
Yeah.
They're dressed like, and all the boys have this El DeBarge sort of look. Have you seen these with the curly hair?
Yeah.
And it's short on the side and then long?
Yeah.
What is going on? Prom dresses, lingerie with cowboy boots. Like, I was just taking pictures. I was so excited about all of the goth children coming out.
Good.
It made me so happy.
We need this, and I loved her message.
Oh, she starts talking about
DeSantis. Good.
And Christian fascists.
Ooh.
It made me so happy. That was a good night. Don't ever miss a show. Got to go to a show.
Yes.
Guess what? I am going. I just got tickets last night.
Oh, for where?
They Might Be Giants.
When?
It's March 1st.
Wait,
at Parker.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like They Might Be Giants.
Okay, hold on.
Wait a minute. I love them. I was just telling
I hate They Might Be Giants.
Why are you going?
Because I sent the link to my ex-husband because he loves these nerds.
Send me the link because I want to go.
It's on Ticketmaster, girl.
Okay.
Anyway, and get them quick because we got like a V or a bro V.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I sent it. He's like, "Do you want to go?" Because my kids like They Might Be Giants, and so I was like, maybe. So I was at hockey last night, and he's like, "What? We got to get the tickets." And I went, and I said, "All right." So I got the 4 tickets.
How much were they?
It was $39 a piece.
That's so good. I'm getting tickets today. His brother's going and bringing his kids, so it should be good. Yeah,
they're good live. I saw them live. It's the only time I liked them. I'm like, I get it. They're good live.
I've seen them. I saw them live actually at Revolution.
Okay.
I saw it was. I don't know if you know the band OK Go.
Yeah.
So OK Go opened for them, and it was They Might Be Giants, and it was a great show.
Yeah.
And my youngest now really, really likes them, and I just said to him the other day, if they ever come down here, like I'll go. We'll go.
Get the tickets.
So I gotta
they
get
went
the
on sale
tickets
yesterday. Yeah.
Yay. Okay. I hope there's still some.
Oh, there's probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
They Might Be Giants, and then as soon as we got the tickets, my ex-husband started singing, I'm not a worm or Dr. Worm. And I'm like, and he's going on, and my daughter and I were like, this is, I said, that's your father. That's your father.
I'm so excited.
I'm not a real worm.
So, and music news for me.
Oh, yes, let's talk about this. Oh, boy.
Just very briefly.
Tina's got to give an obituary real quick.
Phil Lesh of the Dead has died.
It's awful.
He lived a long life, and he battled cancer like a couple different times, and it just made me sad.
Is he an original band member?
Yes.
Bass player, right?
Yes,
yeah.
like amazing bass player. But he wrote a song that's one of my favorite songs. It's called Box of Rain.
Oh.
And one of the lines, just want to say one of the lines from it.
Please.
And in this song he says, it's such a long, long time to be gone and just a short time to be there. And like just live those moments fairly well.
Yes.
I was like crying. I listened for hours. I'm going to tear up now.
Yeah, you are. I'm going to make you laugh because I saw a bunch of tributes to him on Twitter, and one of them was just like, it said something like, Phil Lesh has a lot of great moments, but this was one of the funniest ones. And he was testifying at a court hearing for Jerry Garcia's will. I don't know if there was an estate. Maybe there was a battle or something.
I think there was.
And this guy, the attorney, was asking him, Phil Lesh, like, so between 1960 whatever and 1980 or something, like, do you remember? He goes, those years were very hazy. He's like, I'm not sure. He goes, they were smoky and hazy.
Yeah.
Like he was saying this whole thing, and the judge is dying. Like you hear everybody laughing in the courtroom, and it made me laugh. I was like, these motherfuckers were high.
But he was, Bob Weir posted like a really great tribute and talked about how, and the thing about Bob Weir, like 16, I know I've said it before, but 16 years old and joins this band.
Wow.
Because they were a lot older than him. And his whole life,
it's amazing.
It's like just in this band. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's incredible.
And he talked about how like Phil was like really into like classical music and introduced him to so like a lot of the layers that they do is like from that classical music. Like influence, and he's like I had no idea what any of it was, and he's like, and then like it changed the way I played music, you know, and like how he viewed music, and it was, and he's like, and we've had, and because they used to butt heads.
Oh.
He's like, you know, but.
Wow.
Yeah.
Exciting.
I know.
Listen.
But I know people hate this band. You either hate the band or you love the band.
I'm mid on the band. I mean, I like some of their songs. I'm just not a diehard.
Yeah.
But I do, there is something very special because it doesn't happen with every band. There's something very special about bands like the Grateful Dead that they have that sort of cult following. Right. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it.
That's the thing.
Right.
Like, and if you, people who hate the Dead, it's like if you only know like the songs that were on the radio, which is like Truckin' and Touch of Grey, like then you don't even know the band at all, because that's not like, that's not.
I don't think you have
songs.
to
You know
anything to defend. I think that
know.
I get it. I mean, because if it was just Tina going, they're the greatest band in the world, but you're not the only one on the corner. There's like millions of people who adore this band.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, I mean, it's not like his death went unnoticed. People
the
really
Empire
were.
State Building.
Yes.
Lit up.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like too. Also, like this is an iconic band that like. That they're like the face of that counterculture movement. Yeah. You know what I mean? Of that time in history. And that they were able to like carry this forward all these years.
They didn't, because, you know, some bands will stop touring. They
never stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
They really
It's a big deal.
I mean, after Jerry and they split off, whatever. We're not going to get into all that.
We don't need to, this isn't a Grateful Dead podcast, Tina.
There's plenty of those.
It's Wayne's World. Everybody get right. And we got to say schwing at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I had all these things written up here of like things that they were saying.
Oh.
The thing about Wayne's World when I was watching it was, I forgot like how many, you want to talk about like a cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
But when they're like, not, like there were so many things happening in this movie that I forgot.
Oh, that we said.
Yeah, like, yeah, right. Like the things that they were saying. But I was like, this is real. Like, this is real, dude.
Not
like,
with such a thing.
Not, yeah. Or there's like funny moments where they do just side jokes, like where they're like, I don't like product placement. And
yeah.
They're eating Doritos.
I remember that.
Or Wayne was like racing to get somewhere, and he gets pulled over by a cop on a motorcycle, and he's like, excuse me, officer, is there a problem? Right? And it's the cop from Terminator. And he's like, have you seen this missing kid? And he goes, ah! He's talking to the camera, he starts screaming and like races off. It's so good.
It's cute.
It's so good. Oh my God, I love it so much.
I need to watch it.
Girl, your kids would, I think your sons would love it. Yeah, it's so funny. But anyway, so
all right,
early voting is still happening.
Yes.
My darlings, please go.
Please.
This is our second to the last episode of Trump Gets Elected.
Oh, God.
And I wouldn't want to have it any other way, dressed like this.
I know.
I opened the door, Tina couldn't even stop laughing. And I was like, what? I'm Garth. What is this?
I couldn't even like follow what she was saying.
Yeah. I was standing here talking about something. She was like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, all right, well, can you get it out so we can move on from it? Because, yeah.
All right.
Well, happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Check your candy for razors.
Yes. And don't go to any Trump houses.
And egg the ones
you don't know. You don't know what they're going to be putting in. Yeah. You don't know what they're putting in there. The election's a few days away. We can't risk it.
If it's a MAGA sign, it's going to be not good for you.
No.
It's going to be like pennies. They're going to throw pennies at you.
Ugh.
Oh my God. There was an old lady across the street when I was growing up, and she would give pennies. And the whole bag would smell like copper. It was just awful. It was so bad.
We had when my kids were little, there was always one house that gave out the toothbrushes.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody wants this toothbrush, okay?
Yeah. Nerd alert. Schwing! Let's do schwing one time. Ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Schwing! Cut it, edit, print. All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye!